4luvofboxing at the top of the world on a Tuesday. Listen, we've actually been hinting at it a couple of times during some of the episodes that have been happening. What's going on with Vergil Ortiz and Oscar DeLahoya? Go ahead, gentlemen. Let me know.
Oh my. It's been a battle already, and well, I guess Golden Boy got the nod on this one, right, Jerry?
It's not the fight that anybody wanted,
No,
to be honest with you.
absolutely not.
You know, you got the fighter versus his own promoter versus his own fighter pretty much going on behind the scenes. So what you have is Oscar DeLahoya going on his clapback Thursdays.
Where he finally gets his beat.
Yeah.
And he went in. He went in on Team Ortiz, and he came out with some facts, to his perspective of
Facts
the facts.
with a C, not fats with a T.
And so ultimately, what's going down is Ortiz wants out of his contract, or Team Ortiz wants out of his contract, and that includes the fighter Ortiz Jr. And they want out of the contract with Golden Boy because they think the grass is greener, and so they want to make certain fights and work with other promoters or whatever. Oscar officially got the nod from the Nevada judge saying they can't do any business with anybody else because you have an ironclad contract with them. With that being said, Oscar's like, I would still love to work with you, Victor. Let's make some big fights, which is what he was doing anyways.
Yep. And now Ortiz is going with pushing into they're going to do an appeal, arbitration and stuff in court and all this. And
Ultimately, they're going to be wasting time. They're going to be wasting time
You're going to be
on the
sitting for
bench.
a long time.
And this is not good news for the young Vergil Ortiz.
No.
And he's about to piss away his prime years in court battle. All for nothing because he could be making money with this man.
Who do you blame for this? Do you blame his management? Do you blame whoever it is that's leading the charge?
There is somebody, I know it's not Vergil Ortiz himself, but there's somebody within his team that's deeming and pushing that there's better opportunity for him out there. And they're definitely freaking shooting themselves in the foot. And this kind of reminds me of a situation that actually occurred with Top Rank, along with another excellent fighter, Mikey Garcia. Garcia pretty much got put to the shelf for a couple of years for the exact situation. And his prime years just basically dwindled away. Now, luckily, we were able to see a lot more of Mikey Garcia than we have of Vergil Ortiz. And that's the scary part right now because Vergil Ortiz is basically at the peak of getting some really fucking marquee fights, which I'm very confident that Oscar DeLahoya, Golden Boy Promotions, would have been freaking serving up. So I'm a little
You're hinting at it, right? It was the Boots fight, right? That was what everybody was talking about, was the fight with Boots.
About this, man.
Apparently, there was a location and a date in Vegas in April for that fight already.
Man,
I guess there was more money that was involved, or what was the issue?
Well, according to Oscar, he was offering him a good amount.
Done deal, right? It was a done deal.
It wasn't a. Well, I don't know if it was a done deal, but
done deal on the agreement, but Ortiz didn't sign off.
Yeah, they didn't want to sign off, and this when this happened, and Ortiz has gone on record this week saying that he's not going to fight for Oscar anymore. He's not fighting for Golden Boy anymore. He's pretty much done, and he's ready to move on.
How old is Vergil Ortiz?
27, I believe.
Yeah, I believe he is in his late 20s.
I hope he doesn't lose 2 years out of this, bro. He loses 2 of his prime years, bro.
That would be a huge shame and a huge blow to his career. It is still a huge blow to Golden Boy.
He's not a world champion yet, is he?
He's an interim belt holder at 54. Yeah.
You could be unifying with Xander Zayas. That's all I'm saying.
Wow. There's a lot that he could be doing right now.
2 years from now, you may come back to different champions, is all I'm saying.
And you know what's crazy, though, too, man? And poor DeLahoya, man, from his experience as a fighter, he definitely knows how to groom in his own stable. And he's actually...
Well, he learned from the best, yeah.
He's produced some of the best fighters' careers over the years, and a lot of them has turned their backs. Like, remember, there was a whole herd of Golden Boy fighters that ran off to PBC, and that was a big old mayhem of issues and drama. And just to hear this come about, years later, it's
Well, here's
from you guys' perspective, is it literally just as simple as he just wants a different promoter because he doesn't want to pay Oscar's bill?
So that's just it. Nobody knows the full thing what happened. According to Oscar, this is the timeline. Is Christmas passed, they sent pleasantries to each other. Ortiz Sr. even reached out to Oscar and passed on holiday wishful messages to them, each other. It was all good in the hood. And then came January, Oscar reached out to no response, and then come February, they got hit with the lawsuit. So it seems like there's something lost in translation there somewhere. Of course, we're never going to find out the full truth, but obviously both sides have gotten to this point, and they got here quickly. And for them to get a judge ruling this quickly, too, is great for Golden Boy, because who knows how much more uglier it could have been if the team, the camp over at Ortiz's camp, decided to take a fight with another promoter and went through with it, and they would have just been a big old debacle. Drama, there's just too much. It's just unfortunate because he's like, Ortiz is a good kid. He's very entertaining. He's probably the second or third most popular fighter in the Golden Boy stable, and Oscar has promoted his whole career up to this point too. And
De La Hoya, like he mentioned, he learned from the best, yes. But as a fighter, De La Hoya was being Bob Arum top rank, and then before he started off with his own brand, and he had his kinks that he had to work out, but he's seen the best work, and he knows what he's doing.
And I think it only ruins it for the fans, man. I mean, as a fighter, and we have a little bit of insight, not from the fighting perspective, but from the entertainment perspective, though. You have your contract, you gotta live up to it, bro. I mean, if you ain't happy with your contract stipulations or your terms on your contracts, don't sign your contract, right? Yeah, negotiate a better contract.
Once it expires.
100%, bro. Like and at this point, he's in the wrong, bro.
If you guys got a chance, yes, De La Hoya definitely went in on the whole thing. He's like, now that the court ruling is over, it was in our favor.
He can speak the facts.
Now I get to speak freely, and he went in on him, and rightfully so. And I loved it. And I love his little clapback little segments. Those are hilarious. Yeah. But he does, like he mentions, he's like, it's not hating if you're speaking the truth, and and he was as you mentioned, he was speaking some serious knowledge of the in-depth game and stuff, and I get it with a lot of fighters, because I get ironically, it's a little bit ironic because De La Hoya was never
isn't
really
it
loyal.
ironic?
De La Hoya was never really loyal to a trainer, and he's a flip-flop trainer like all the fucking time. But now he's over here boasting and arguing about loyalty, right?
Hey, man.
But I get it though, man. I mean, every young man got their whatever they want to attack, and Vergil Ortiz decided he wants to part ways and stuff. But he lost, and I guess he's gonna refuse. He's gonna have a little tantrum fit and not want to fight. But I mean, what if De La Hoya does match him up and stuff? I mean, I guess
what do you do, man? Right? Listen, Valley of the Sun. We were in here a couple weeks ago, and we had Chris Vasquez in here, and we actually had some commentary and some dialogue that was happening over when you're a fighter handler or a fighter promoter, and you have invested money into somebody to get them somewhere where they're at, and then they don't quite live up or own up to their end of the contract. Like, that's the scary part for me as a promoter. If you're in like Oscar is, I mean, obviously Oscar has a lot of money, so we're not talking about he's not going to be going broke off of one fighter. But with some promoters, that is the case, man. Sometimes they go way in with one guy. Right. That's their one guy to get over. All their eggs are in that basket, and then the guy doesn't live up to it. That's a scary thing, man.
They should have listened to the other point that Oscar made in his recent clapback is he learned from Mr. Bob Arum. And Bob Arum told Oscar, he says, one lesson that Oscar will never forget is you never fall in love with your fighter.
Yeah.
And obviously that's from a business standpoint, right? Because you always will have certain love more from one fighter more than the other. Like, I love both of you equally. But when we're separately, I love whoever's not there more or less.
Yeah.
So my point being is that Oscar's spot on, because you just look at what happened with Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn. Same kind of concept. He loved Conor Benn.
Good point, bro.
And Conor Benn didn't love him back the same way that Eddie Hearn loved him.
It seems so much more tragic because of it too, bro.
He helped him become a freaking star after those two.
So that's the thing is Oscar's done the same for Ortiz, and I can understand if we don't know. Maybe Oscar said something, and then they don't got evidence of it, and then there's like, fuck that. I know they didn't like the fact that Oscar was saying that Vergil was being disrespectful or he was ungrateful. He said ungrateful before the ruling, and I might have triggered him off too. But still,
there's going to be a lot more that comes out that we'll Well, actually, maybe there won't be, but we'll never really know. You know?
We won't.
For me, the behavior that was actually being showcased by Ortiz was definitely ungrateful, and I thought De La Hoya had every right to actually state that.
Yeah.
But yes, it's definitely going to start.
Which is interesting though, because he just fought like November or something.
Yeah,
I think he fought,
long.
and he had nothing but great things to say about Oscar and the promotion.
Yeah.
And again, here we are,
Like
3
said,
weeks,
no,
3
no.
months later, and it's like
Yeah.
180.
That was right before the holiday time.
Yeah.
It was
Listen,
all wishes during
that-
Christmas.
That's how it is, though. That's boxing for you. It's not the first time we've seen it. I'm sure it won't be the last.
This is
But
true.
That's been
Facts.
10 good minutes
And it's
for you
conspiracy theories, so
on
y'all-
a Tuesday.
So y'all chime in, put your
10
comments
good
in 2
minutes
cents.
on a Tuesday. Make sure you comment down low and tune in on the Thursday this week. We're going to have a special episode for you this
A
Thursday.
special
also.
throwback Thursday
That's
episode.
it. That's what it's going to be. Listen, see you guys later. For Love of Boxing.
Thursday,
Top of the
Pacquiao,
world.
Mayweather.